It's water on the net, that would be.
We don't even say it. We don't even say it.
They would get you out. Stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Fire exits behind me. Please do not use the elevators or stairs. Roll call.
Sorry, go ahead.
Councilperson Brown. Here. Councilperson Ellis.
Present.
Councilperson Frost.
Here.
Town Clerk Collier.
Here.
Town Attorney Collier.
Present.
Highway Superintendent Tony Pace Jr.
Present.
I am present as well. We're all good there, John?
Yep, I can be able to control from here, so.
Okay. Regular and audit meetings will be held the first and third Thursdays of each month at 7 p.m. at Town Hall, 108 Canal Street. Bills will be audited at 4:30 and will be available for perusal 24 hours after each meeting. Workshops will be held at 5:30 p.m. prior to regular audit meeting. The fourth Monday of the month, there will be a workshop if needed at 3 p.m. The public is invited to attend meetings. Budget workshops will be held on the second Wednesday of the month at 3 p.m. Can you get a motion? I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Jackie?
My town clerk appointments for 2026 are Andrea Noble, first deputy, and Stacy Patel, second deputy.
Motion there?
No, those are appointments.
Yeah. Like to make a motion to appoint Bill Brown, Deputy Town Supervisor, Henry Green, Town Historian, Shannon Rivera, Emergency Management Coordinator. Final motion meeting. Robin?
My first deputy is Kathy Pale, and my second deputy is Roxanne Shamrock.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Town Hall work hours. Town Hall employees will work 35 hours a week. For 35-hour work weeks, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Work hours other than stated above must be approved by the town board. Get a motion? A motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Town board to adopt present procurement policy for the town of Warson. We get a motion?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I get a motion to approve the sexual harassment policy currently used by the town of Warson.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I get a motion to approve the code of ethics that's currently used by the town of Warson.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You get a motion for Jackie Cup to appoint Jackie Collier, record management officer.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You get a motion to appoint Jackie Collier, register of vital records on a fee basis. So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Get a motion to appoint Colleen Hayes as highway superintendent secretary.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
You get a motion to appoint Colleen Hayes as the purchasing agent for the highway department in addition to existing duties. So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve the following appointments. May I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I get a motion to submit monthly mileage on behalf of dog control officers at a rate of 0.72.5 cents per mile.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Get a motion to, am I allowed to do my motions yet? All right.
We're fooling you.
We're gonna have a little fun tonight, because this is my first time, so, enjoy the show. To appoint Supervisor Steckler, to the town's office building with authority to determine went to close town hall due to weather conditions, no heat in building or power outages. All in favor?
Aye.
May I get a motion, all legal matters for the town board business will be referred to Attorney William Collins III.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Get a motion for the first and third, planning board meeting will be held the third Tuesday of the month at 7 PM in Town Hall.
So moved.
Second,
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
Town board to reappoint Don Schmalzli to the planning board, for a 7-year term ending December 31st, 2032. Need a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Don's in the audience. Don, thank you for your service.
Thank you for the, continued support.
Well, to follow up with that, we get a motion to reappoint Don Schmalzli as chairman of the planning board, for a 1-year term, year 2026.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You get a motion to reappoint Frank Wood to the zoning board of appeals. It's a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2030.
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to reappoint John Griffo to the Environmental Conservation Committee. It is a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2029.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to reappoint John Thompson to the Environmental Conservation Commission for a 4-year term ending on December 31st, 2029.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to reappoint Sarah Underhill as chairperson to the Environmental Conservation Commission. Is a 1-year term for the year 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to appoint John Griffo as chairman to the Zoning Board of Appeals. It is a 1-year, chairman is on appeals, a 1-year term for 2026.
So move.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Samantha, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Town board to appoint, planning board attorney Mary Lou Christiana as attorney for the town planning board as per planning board recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to appoint Mary Lou Christiana as attorney for the town of Warsing Building Department.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Town board to authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with Grenier and Larios for professional engineering related to planning board.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Town board to appoint Mary Lou Cristiano as the attorney for the town zoning board per zoning board recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to designate the Shawanga Journal for our official newspaper. Town board approves using the Kingston Freeman and the Time Shell Record as an needed basis.
So move.
Second.
Welcome back.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion for all department heads. I will make written reports on a monthly basis, or the town board can request reports from department head at any time. Cooper Arias and LLP will also be asked for monthly reports.
So. Second.
Bill and John, all in favor?
Aye.
Town board to appoint Edward Bruno as the town prosecutor for the town of Warsing. $200 per hour and no more than 1 hour per week required. A motion? Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Jury fees. They get a motion to town will pay jury fees and services of court stenographer in criminal actions only, excluding preliminary hearings and or examination.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We get a motion to approve all services rendered paid for by the submission of a purchase order and a voucher in accordance with the adopted purchasing policy.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I get a motion to approve the town board for a $100 petty cash fund for the following departments: accounting, town clerk, tax collector, Justice Department Superintendent of Highways. The clerk has an extra $1,000 in their checkbook to cover insufficient funds.
So moved.
Get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion, the superintendent of highways is permitted to purchasing tools and equipments up to the amount of $1,200 per item basis without prior board approval. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We got a motion, 72.5 cents, allowed for their personal cars for town business. This is on the approval of the town supervisor first. An individual should use a town vehicle if one is available.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Get a motion to, the town board, Councilman Brown is authorized to sign checks in the absence of or incapacity of the supervisor. Second signature on all checks will be municipal bookkeeper Ginger Gillis. In her absence, signature will be senior account clerk Linda Blanco.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bank depository. We get a motion to accept our banks.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board approves supervisor to invest in funds into CDs from the general A fund, the general B fund, EB, Cohasson Water, Cohasson Sewer, Napanock Water, Napanock Sewer. I add in Lawrence Water,
Yeah,
Lawrence Water District for the following banks: M&T Bank. I'm gonna remove Catskill Hudson,
Move Catskill.
Webster Bank, Key Bank, and Chase Bank.
So moved.
Second.
Actually, we have Green County too.
In Green County.
Mhm.
The Bank of Green County.
The Bank of Greene County. I got a motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You get a motion to allow the supervisor with town board approval to be empowered to invest funds in the official depositories. That all certificates of deposit must be covered by pledged government securities in the amount of the certificates of deposit. These must be placed in escrow account in another bank or placed in a safe deposit box under the town board's control.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board appoints the town clerk as the fair housing officer of the town of Warson.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to appoint the supervisor as FOIL appeals officer.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Authorize the town board to advertise legal notice for the town of Warson regarding fair housing policy.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 1.
Roll call vote.
Town board to approve to adopt a fair housing policy prohibiting discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, sex, or place of birth in regard to housing accommodations within the town of Warson, declaring the policy of the town to be that of ensuring equal opportunity to all persons to live in a decent housing facilities.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
Johnny,
Aye.
Samantha,
Aye.
Bill.
Aye.
Aye. Resolution number 2, town board to approve to adopt the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Sorry, Joe, I think we missed one right above that. Same.
Right after, same page,
As,
it's not,
Just,
it's right there.
town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise a legal notice for the town of Warson regarding Americans with Disabilities Act and the grievance procedure.
So moved.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now on to resolution 2. Town board to approve and adopt the Americans with Disabilities Act notice and grievance procedure. The motion,
So moved. Second.
Johnny,
Aye.
Samantha,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
I vote aye. On to motion or on to resolution, please.
Yes.
Town board to approve the appointment of Jeff Slade of Cragsmore, New York marriage officer within the territory of the town of Warsing.
So moved.
Second.
Johnny,
Aye.
Samantha,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
I vote aye. Thank you, Joe. The backside, number 4. Town board authorizes the highway superintendent and his designated crew to be allowed to enter the private property of any town of Warsing residence for the purpose of town highway improvement, protection, and conservation projects. This is per Highway Law 147.
So moved.
Second.
Johnny,
Aye.
Samantha,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
I vote aye. They get a motion to approve the town, all town employees to be paid on a weekly basis.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Get a motion to approve longevity payments for the year 2026 to the following employees.
So moved.
Need a second?
I'll second that, but that's a tremendous amount of dedication to the town of Warsing, 20 years, 15 years. Thank you to all those.
Absolutely. All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve the 2026 salary schedule list.
So moved.
In a second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Jackie? Good?
We're good.
Yep.
We just need to adjourn that.
Yeah.
For revision.
Just want to make sure.
Motion to adjourn.
Town board to me, yeah,
I'll second the motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
You want to take a minute recess?
6:20. We start, stop, John?
I can pause this, yes.
Okay, yeah, it's 6:20, we told, I mean, we already changed the time once, and we'll get closer to it.
I think that, yeah, that works. So we're gonna take a quick recess, right, for 10 minutes?
Yeah,
And we'll
10-minute
reconvene.
recess, do what you gotta do, bathroom, stretch your legs. Start our regular meeting.
What do we start?
That's it.
Okay. We're good now?
We're good now. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stay standing, please, to remember those who passed away. Larry Robeck, Janet Birch. Thank you. One more roll call. Johnny?
Here.
Samantha?
Here.
Bill? Here. Also in attendance, Jackie Collier, our clerk, Town Attorney Bill Collier, and Highway Superintendent Tony Page Jr. Reminder, fire exits are behind us. Please do not use stairs or elevator. Also, if you can please silence your cell phone, much appreciated. Correspondence,
Nothing for tonight?
okay. Are there any petitioners here that are here to talk about something other than the Warsing Estates project?
Either here or on Zoom. If you're on Zoom, and you're here not to talk about the Warsing, Estates project, please use the React feature to raise your hand.
That will organize it for Johnny. We're going to let petitioners talk in the audience first, and then we will let, in order of hand up, correct, Johnny?
Correct.
Talk on Zoom. Open the floor for petitioners. Reminder, 3 minutes to talk about, whatever you like. And, yep, no particular order.
Do you want to start off with a acknowledgement at all, or would you like to just move to petitioners?
We'll be the petitioners, okay. Oh, Grace, come on up. I don't know everyone's name, so if you please state your name when you get to the podium. Thank you.
My name is Grace Jones and I'm a resident of Warsing. I'm here today because I'm concerned about the proposed Warsing Estates development. It's going to be at the corner of Route 209 and 4455. It is my understanding that this is planned to be 180 units. And it was initially slated to be housing for people aged 55 and up. This was changed for the town board meeting from December 18th. Where the local law was passed, allowing this to be opened up to all ages after 60 days of receiving a certificate of occupancy. It's also my understanding that a new site plan environmentals will not be required and that the developer can proceed with the plans that were initially submitted 15 years ago. If the developer wants to change from a 55 and up community, I am under the impression that there would need to be a new application and amended site plan. Why was this local law passed versus it being sent back to the planning board for review, especially when they have been vocal about their objections to this local law? A large portion of this property is a special flood hazard area that borders the Rondout Creek. The plan that you are reviewing and approving were done prior to Hurricane Sandy and Irene. The climate is very different today, and we are requesting that you require this developer to adhere and resubmit based on today's standards. Has a traffic study been done based on today's population? This town freaked out when we were gonna have 15 tractor trailers coming and going from the proposed landfill. At 180 units, we're looking at what? Probably at least 400 cars coming and going every day at that intersection. Look, we all want housing. I would love to have more housing. It's Jen Metzger's #1 priority. It would be a big win for this town. Those of you with maybe more ambitious, political goals, it would be great for you to deliver that for her. None of us here are opposing development and Warsing. What we really want is that we want this done correctly, legally, and up to standards that are based on today, not based on whatever happened back in 2007 or 2008 when this was initially planned. The best outcome would be for me to look back and be like, oh, I was totally wrong. This is a great development. That is what I really sincerely would like to happen. I would love to be wrong about all of this. I just feel like we've been given no information. There are no site plans available. Nothing's really been presented to the town. It all seems very secretive. So I'm just asking that you please be more transparent and we please do this according to 2026 standards. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir? Hello. What's your name, sir?
Good evening Supervisor and members of the town board. My name is Nicholas Escobar, and I am a resident of the town of Warsing. I am here tonight to respectfully ask the board to pause and reconsider its prior approvals related to the Warsing Estates project. This request is not about opposing development. It is about ensuring that development of this scale is reviewed lawfully, transparently, and under current standards. Warsing Estates proposes approximately 180 residential units. A project of this size carries real and lasting consequences for flooding, water quality, traffic, emergency services, and the character of our community. These are not abstract concerns. They affect public safety and the long-term well-being of residents. The project was dormant for nearly 2 decades and is relying on approvals that are no longer current. Since that time, zoning standards, environmental laws, flood mapping, and wetland protections have all changed. This should require a fresh review, not reliance on a stale record. A development of this magnitude also requires a full environmental review under SECRA, State Environmental Quality Review Act, including a long-form analysis of the cumulative impacts. That review has not occurred to my knowledge. Tonight, I respectfully ask the board to rescind the prior resolutions related to this project and to reopen the review process under current 2026 standards with full environmental review and meaningful public participation. This approach protects residents, protects the town, and ensures that any future development is both lawful and responsibly planned. Thank you for your time, your service, and your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm Solange Van Loo, and I'm a resident of Warsing. If you don't mind, I'm going to read this. Public speaking is in my sweet spot. More of an introvert, and I want to make sure I get this right. I want to start by saying that I truly appreciate the work this board does. I know you're juggling many priorities and representing a diverse group of constituents. I also believe that you care deeply about the long-term health of this community and are trying to be forward-looking in a responsible way. So I moved here for quite a lot. For the beauty of this place, the wildlife, the roundabout, and time spent outdoors with my dogs. I knew the landscape of here was special, but what I didn't expect was how special the community would be. I felt so welcomed here. What really struck me was seeing neighbors and town leaders come together around things like a dog park, checking in with families about a youth center, discouraging a dump, reviewing rail trail renderings, and imagining an arts building. Those conversations felt thoughtful, collaborative, and very much in keeping with the spirit of this town. So when I learned over the holidays through a newspaper article that a very large housing development was being revived right near my home, I was honestly stunned. Not because development is inherently bad, but because of the scale, the location, and how little information seemed to be available. I understand that this project may have originated many years ago. If there is important context or information that we're missing, I truly want to be educated. Because like many of my neighbors, I immediately had questions. Can Route 209 and 4455 safely handle the increase of traffic? What does this mean for the roundabout, for the wildlife, for flooding? How would this affect residential well water? Since then, I've learned that a full environmental review is designed to answer exactly these questions. What I'm asking, and I know many neighbors feel the same, is that we slow this down, that we pause, allow public access to the plans, and do the deeper environmental review that a project of this scale deserves, that our community deserves. Once changes like this happen, they can't be undone. I believe we owe it to this community and to future generations to get it right. Thank you for listening and for your service to this town.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Scott Carlson. I'm a resident of Warsing. Welcome to the board, Supervisor Stecker. Welcome to the board, Sam. This project dates back to my years as a supervisor. It was well underway, the site work was done. Actually, the water and sewer lines are in on that site, and then it got abandoned. I don't know why, I don't know if the owners didn't have money, but the project got stopped, but it was well underway. In fact, they were gonna hook up to Hanson Water and Sewer. And running the line to the site, I had talked to the contractors to do it along the rail trail and then finish the rail trail as all part of the project. I mean, sounded like a pretty good deal. And the project at the time, I have to say it sounded positive, but right now, I don't feel like many of us know what's gonna go on at that site. I feel like at the last minute, the senior housing aspect of it got pulled, and I don't really understand why. If you'll bear with me, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. When I was a supervisor, I met with the new owners of the Tamarack Lodge site. And in my office, I was promised that they were building bungalows. Bungalows, and we know what a bungalow is. Drive by the Tamarack and tell me that those are bungalows. Now, I was out of office when that project finally got underway, so I can't tell you what happened with the planning board or the town board. But that certainly is not bungalows, and I don't feel like, in terms of a site plan, that we have any idea what's gonna go there. Is it one big apartment house? Is it 6 apartment houses? Is it 20 different buildings with people living there? I don't know, and I guess I would encourage, like, you're gonna hear from others, can we take a pause? Get the planning board and the town board on the same page and figure out what's going on, but, I think there was potential years ago, but it's been a lot of years since that project was on the table. I would just encourage you to take a second look. Thank you.
Next. That's me. First.
And council, which would like for the record, if you have to be in there, this is the receipt. This is a bullet journal. It's not everybody's money, when you stole them, therefore, it's years back, you plan to send out, except the. I just, that's the.
So what I just handed you is called a notice of deficit. And you will see when you look at it, what it has to say. I'm standing here today as a member, my name is Seth Goldfarb, by the way, I'm a resident of the town of Warren. Standing here today as a member of the Warren Citizens Alliance, a group of neighbors who want only the best for our community. I was sent an article over the holidays about a very large, high-density urban style development that was proposed for the southeast corner of where the 209 meets the 4455. I then learned that a short form EAS and negative declaration was approved to be signed by yourself. And I thought to myself, that's kind of odd, because that's what you would use to add a deck to your house. You wouldn't use that to add a large urban style community to the corner of the 45. I'm formally handing in a notice of deficit, which you all received, and I urge the board to rescind the vote taken on December 18th and prior regarding the Washington Estates LLC, both the short form EAS and negative declaration, as well as the change from 55H plus to an open admission. I hope that this pause will allow this project the proper look that it deserves for the largest housing project in Ulster County to date. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions. I'd also like to state that you have to rescind yourselves on that vote. It's the only way you pause this. You don't just do it through goodwill. Thank you very much, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, please. Next speaker.
Anybody else here in person? If not, we'll switch over to the folks over on Zoom.
Yeah, if there's anyone on Zoom who'd like to speak, please use the React feature and raise your hand, and it will show me the order in which you have requested to speak. I will unmute you and you will have 3 minutes. Please be sure to state your name and where you live. Right now, we have one person who has joined via their iPhone. I'm going to ask you to unmute now. You should get a notification. And please state your name and where you live. Let's see, faster. iPhone, I have asked you to unmute. Oh, there you go.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Good evening. My name is Scott Frost, and I thank you for the opportunity to speak. I want to start by acknowledging that this process has clearly brought up a lot of concern and energy from residents. It's not a bad thing. People can care deeply about where they live, and that care deserves respect. I'm speaking tonight simply as a resident who believes that how and when the process we engage in moments like this matters just as much as the outcome. There's been a lot of discussion recently in meetings, in the press, and in community conversations, but whether the right steps were followed, whether enough information was available, whether decisions were made too quickly or too slowly. Those are all fair questions, but they're only productive if we keep them grounded in what actually is before the town right now. What transpired before this moment is most importantly, what has yet to happen and still remains required of the developer in order to actually move forward with this build out. These important differentiators on where we are in the process and what is yet to be granted before the developer breaks ground, I feel were unfortunately left vague in the sensationalized article written in the Shwangong Journal on December 31st, and are leading to a lot of misinformation tonight. Two examples are stating that the town was, quote, helping the developer, or the final paragraph, quote, the legal path has been cleared to allow Wawarsing Estates to build. How would that statement ever be true without the final approvals from multiple boards still yet to come or a building permit in place? This project has a long history. Some approvals were granted years ago, some steps still remain ahead, and some decisions are simply constrained by law rather than preference. I want to gently suggest that there's an important difference between seeking clarity and assuming deficiency. One invites explanation and transparency, the other moves the conversation immediately into an adversarial space. If our shared goal is understanding, which I hope it is, then process, facts, and timing matter. I also think it's important to name the broader context we're all operating in. Housing is not an abstract issue. Many people who already live in this area or in the surrounding communities, and frankly, many who would like to, are struggling to find housing that fits their lives and their budget. That reality doesn't override infrastructure concerns or planning responsibilities, of course, but it does belong in the conversation. None of this requires us to agree on the outcome, but it does require us to engage in a way that keeps neighbors from becoming opponents and boards from being put in positions where fear or speculation replaces lawful decision-making. My hope is that tonight and moving forward, we continue to ask questions, request information, attend meetings, and hold our local government to a high standard. I also hope that we as a collective community can also allow the process to function as it's designed and lawfully required to. If we can do that, not only can we make better decisions, we strengthen trust in the community itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else on Zoom who would like to speak? All right, thank you.
Anybody from the audience would like to speak? Sure.
My name is Steve Brown. I am the owner's representative for Wawarsing Estates, and I thank you for the opportunity to come before you this evening. So clearly, there's a lot of questions about this project. Some of the information that's been brought up has been accurate, close to accurate anyway. This project consists of 7 buildings. It's 182 units. Nothing has changed from the original site plan. The original site plan that was approved remains exactly in effect. There have been no physical changes. We have been back before the planning board for them to review things. One of the concerns obviously was flooding, was some of the new topo, some of the new DEC requirements that were there. And after reviewing everything, the planning board did reinstate the existing site plan that was there. So there are no physical changes to that site plan. Would I change some things? I would have. I would have changed some things because I don't love the design of it, but it is what it is. So there's a clubhouse, there's a pool, there's tennis courts, there's recreational facilities right there on site. It's a great location. It's a well-designed, compact unit. So each of the buildings has parking underneath, as like little open parking garages, and then there's excess space. So there are 140 2-bedroom units, and there's 42 1-bedroom units. So the first 2 floors are all are all 8 units. And the third floor makes up the rest of it, where there are 10 units on that. So you end up with 26 units per building, 182 units. So some of the questions that have come up tonight, obviously the focus here has been the 55 and over. Well, so why isn't the project limited to 55-year and up residents? Well, one of the reasons that we wouldn't necessarily go forward with building this is because we don't believe that the demographics really support that here. We believe that unfortunately, at this point, and believe me, this project, we would welcome 182 qualified 55 and up applicants to be in this facility, because they are a good group. I will qualify next year. And you know, we've raised families, we have children, grandchildren, and maybe a little bit more stable downsizing. And that's a great feature. But unfortunately, the demographics of the area will unlikely support 100% of that project being 55 and up. And so it makes it economically less feasible to build it unless we have the capacity to, once it's been offered to 55 and over, which would be our first choice, to open it up to other people who could benefit from it. Town employees, firefighters, police, workers, people that need housing. So what did the town really change with the new local law that applies everywhere in the town? It's not just for this project, it applies everywhere. Wasn't spot zoning, it wasn't done just for this project, it was something that was a practical approach. So they adopted this practical approach that where the project must first be marketed to residents age 55 and older for a defined period. And if demand is insufficient, then the remaining units can be offered out. And that's basically all it is. So who's going to live there? Well, it's going to serve younger families, individuals. I mean, these are 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. These are not massive buildings where, you know, giant families are going to be moving in. It's 1 and 2 bedrooms, 800 square feet, 1,200 square feet maximum. These are, you know, it's obvious what this design is really for. Will it be compliant with fair housing laws? Absolutely. That's the law. We will comply with all the federal and state fair housing laws that are applicable to this. Now, this project, it adds needed housing without expanding the footprint. And also, I think something that kind of misses everybody here, that it does expand your tax base. This is a tax-paying project. This is not something that has been applied for grants or tax benefits or pilot programs. This is real money from a developer coming to the community to provide housing. It's a net positive. So that's, you know, our long-term goal basically is just to create a stable, well-managed rental facility that meets the needs of the community. And we feel with the town board's help, that's the direction that we're heading in. We really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Joe, I didn't sign in, but can I speak for a second, please?
It's not a public hearing, so there's no signing, but yes, Mark, you can go.
Okay, thank you. I'm Barbara Hopp. I'm a senior member of the community. And I'd just like to ask the question to Mr. Brown. He said demographics. As far as that, is there a survey that's been done? Are you aware of the fact that we have 2 senior housing units that currently there are wait lists for both facilities? And it would be really nice if all of those people were considered and given first options. And our taxes are very high in this area. It's forcing a lot of our seniors out of the area because they can't afford to live in their home. And they would welcome the chance to live in a senior community that's well planned. First off, I think a swimming pool in this area is foolish. I've lived here forever, and maybe you can swim 1 year. And a senior certainly won't be able to swim, so it'll be interesting. Clubhouses, seniors are pretty isolated. They like to, you know, deal with their friends. And I don't know if you're also aware, but within our community, we've had a bus, UCAT bus, which very recently has limited its run So basically what you're doing is putting a group of people captive in an area without public transportation. Randomly, it will come and they can go and then wait for their ride back. So that's just my feeling. Thank you.
Thank you. If anybody else would like to speak to the board, we can. If not, we're gonna go through the rest of our meeting, and then if anyone is here afterwards, we can talk among themselves after the meeting. But this was not a public hearing, but we do understand that this was a very important subject, and yes, sir.
I'd like to speak to the board because this gentleman went way over 3 minutes and he was reading from some information he was given prior to this meeting that was not meant to be handed out and distributed to people such as the developer. So if it please the board, I would like to just speak for a few more seconds about some of the things that this gentleman said.
If you want to finish some thoughts, sir, I'd like to go.
So first of all, with regards to the site plan was acted in 2007. By your own town code, the site plan becomes null and void on its face after 2 years and 4 approvals of 6 months per approval. So I'm unclear how you were able to reinstate this plan.
We did it, sir.
Or how the planning board was able to reinstate this plan, when by a matter of law, according to your town administrative code, state law, the plan is dead, null and void. They have to reapply as if the town never approved that. So to me, that's unbelievably curious how that happens. So all I'm asking you is to read what I've given you, do some of your due diligence like we all had to do over our holidays because we were basically kind of ambushed by this article. And I just want to say that in terms of what Mr. Frost said, which I completely agree with, he wants you to follow procedure and the law. And all those documents you've received only talk about the procedure and the law that at this time we believe you are violating. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Any concerns, Bill?
None that we haven't already discussed. I can discuss a few things that have been brought up in the material that was handed to us and what some people said. First of all, the town board has nothing to do with approving the site plan. That was approved by the planning board a number of years ago. And the project individual at that time did spend probably millions of dollars putting in infrastructure. They went back to the planning board. It's my understanding that the planning board agreed that the pre-existing approvals would be honored because of the extent of the investment in the project. So that's nothing the town board had anything to do with. And there's nothing the town board will do in the future. They may or may not have to go back to the planning board. They have not yet pulled their permits. The project site is not either in the Wawarsing Water District or the Wawarsing Sewer District. So at some point in time, I would assume before they do get their permits, we're going to have to approach the town to be an outside user to the Cohasset Sewer Improvement District and to the Cohasset Water District. They're gonna have to prove to us that there's sufficient capacity to provide sewer and water to this project. And we're gonna have to, attempt to negotiate an agreement. And that's a big step that's gonna be on the developer. I know in one of the documents that was handed, it indicated that we didn't notify the county. We absolutely notified the county planning board, and for whatever reason, the county planning board did not submit a response. So that's just inaccurate information. So there's still the developer is a long way from getting a permit for breaking ground. They may or may not have to go back to the planning board. They certainly have to come to the town board to be outside user to the water and sewer district. So we'll see what evidence they present to us. And the only thing that the town board did was pass a local law that applies to the entire town. That basically says if a project is developed for age-related qualifications and there isn't any federal funding or state funding involved in it, this was a restriction that the developer imposed upon itself. It wasn't mandated by anybody else. That we would not require that developer to stick with that 55 and older. That after 60 days of marketing it exclusively to 55 and older, that they could open it up to the general public. I think we all know that there's a drastic housing need in this area. Cresco, which is yet to break ground, was concerned and is concerned about, okay, we employ 250, 300 people, where the heck are they gonna live around? The Neville project. And we all hope that that comes to fruition someday. They're concerned about where their 200 or 300 people are gonna work. As part of their most recent proposal, they're gonna build employee housing because there's such a sparse, a lack of housing. So this project, if it's built, is gonna fill a lot of needs. So I just think that needs to be considered by everybody also.
Thank you, Bill. I think it's really important to know that there are many permits that still need to be approved and provided for this to move forward. I think that there's some confusion over what exactly occurred at the December 18th meeting and what we allowed. And so I hope that we can continue to share what that is and all of the steps that still need to be held in order for this to move forward.
Thank you. And moving along to resolution number 5. The motion, town board approves the sponsor of the 4th of July committee and the events related to and leading up to the July 4th parade. Whereas the Warsing Town Board of the Town of Warsing is committed to recognizing the 4th of July committee, and whereas it is important for the town residents to avail themselves and participate in these, which commemorate the celebration of our nation's anniversary on the 4th of July, 2026. And whereas the 4th of July committee is dedicated to organizing events leading up to the 4th of July parade. And whereas the Warsing Town Board by resolution hereby approves sponsoring the 4th of July committee and all events leading up to the event of the 4th of July, 2026. Now therefore resolved, Town Board of the Town of Warsing regularly session duly convened, that the town board supports and encourages participation in the July 4th parade organized by the July 4th committee. And the town of Warsing hereby adopts a policy for the event that no alcoholic beverages will be sold, dispersed, or permitted at any site location during these events. That no drugs or other controlled substances will be permitted, except prescription medications will be permitted at any site location during these events. That no unlawful weapons are allowed to be carried or possessed by persons participating in or viewing these events at various locations in the town of Warsing.
If you could amend that to state for the calendar year of 2026, our events, not just the 4th of July parade, leave up, but we also have our fundraising events that go year round. So if we could just have that for the fiscal, in the calendar year of 2026, rather than events leading up to the 4th of July, we would appreciate that.
No, thank you.
It does say all events related to and leading up to, but you just want the whole calendar year? Just to
Yeah.
confirm? Okay.
Thank you, Jackie. The third whereas I'll amend to all events related to the 4th of July in the year 2026.
I make the motion.
Sorry, just point of clarification quickly. I believe it should be the 4th whereas. Hereby approves sponsoring.
It's actually in both 3rd and 4th.
And it's on the head.
Please, Jackie, you got that?
You got that?
Yep. Jackie, 3 changes to include the year 2025 up to
6.
July 4th. Sorry, 2026. The motion is second. Johnny?
Aye.
Samantha?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. I vote aye. Thank you, July 4th committee, for your tireless hours, and I strongly urge everyone to participate in their spaghetti dinners, of their tag days, you name it, they could use some help. So, thank you to that team. Resolution number 7, town board by resolution adopts section 3 of the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1968 plan. Motion, whereas New York State Office of Community Renewal and state and federal laws require that municipal recipients have section 3 of the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1968 plan in order to be compliant for having received state and federal monies. Now therefore resolved that the town of Warsing adopts the following section 3, 24 CFR 85.36 of the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1968. 1, Pursuant to Section 3 of the Housing and Development Act of 1968, the town of Worsing will ensure that employment and other economic opportunities will be available to low, moderate income families and businesses, and all that procurement transactions will be conducted in a competitive manner. 2, that the town will include in its outreach list Section 3 businesses found in the US HUD website. The town will include the following phrase in its construction bid notices. Section 3 and M/WBE firms are strongly encouraged to submit bids. The town will specify construction contractors that they must make good faith efforts to hire Section 3 persons and Section 3 subcontractors in instances where they hire for a project or where they need subcontractors. Furthermore, any contract with the town of Worsing awards that is not off a state contract must document that the contractor is in full compliance of the above. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
Johnny,
Aye.
Samantha, Bill,
Aye.
I vote aye. On to our agenda.
Before you all leave, I see you getting up. Thank you so much for being here. We are here every other Thursday. We invite you to join us. We are on Facebook, live. They are posted to YouTube afterward, but participation in these all year round is what helps keep the communication open. Thank you.
We have 3 budget modifications. Increased revenue code 3820A. State aid for youth programs. Create and increase expense code 7320.43 by Fisher's Keeper. And increase expense code 4320.4A, joint youth contractual.
So moved.
Second.
Quick discussion, this is basically, we're just accounting for how we receive money for some of our youth programs from the state and how we account for the revenue where it gets spent. All in favor?
Aye.
You know, motion to approve bills as audited,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
May I get a motion to accept the minutes for December 4th, December 18th, and December 22nd workshop,
So moved 3 through 5.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve the payment to Passero Associates for FAA project 336-0201-50-2025, rehabilitate runway 4-22, invoice number 96727, in the amount of $14,811.25.
So moved.
Second, for discussion quickly, this one and the following 2 motions that we're about to make regarding this FAA project and what's happening at the airport. We've received a 90% grant from the federal government to provide these services, as well as 5% from the state of New York. So the actual town cost for these airport improvements is only 5% of the overall cost. Just think that's an important clarification.
And these, you'll see number 8, this is for the new flights that will be developed or built. Number 7, town board to approve payments to Passero Associates for project 3-36-201-49-2025 and reconstruct weather reporting equipment, invoice number 96725, in the amount of $10,182.42.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve the payment to Passero Associates for the construction FBO business and maintenance hangar/flight school office and training space center. Space design, construction, and grant administration, invoice 17673, in the amount of $2,678.13.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve the adjustment of a motion approved on 10/16 for the purchase of an item listed on quote from Emmerich Associates for repairs at Napanoch Sewer Plant from the previous amount of $16,774 to include the freight cost change. The total amount to be approved $17,154.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve the payment to Lift Tech for the QEI third-party witnessing service with TK Elevator for our annual inspection on a hydraulic elevator in the amount of $425.
So.
Second.
Quick discussion, that's for the elevator in Town Hall. All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve the payment for Civic Plus for the annual fees pertaining to the town of Orsing website invoice 352-492 in the amount of $6,372.63.
So moved. And then just quick discussion on that. So, last fall, we moved to a new town website, significantly improved the user experience, from our last town website, both for, us internally as well as for those visiting the website. I highly recommend folks check out the meeting minutes and agenda section. All of our agendas are posted there, hopefully 24 hours prior to a meeting. And the minutes are posted afterwards, there as well. And you can download both of those. And we got not only the town website, but the recreation website, which we'll approve next for the annual amount, or we'll discuss next for the annual amount, for basically the same cost we were paying for the previous website that was not friendly to use.
So we're investing in getting ourselves up to, modern times, but specifically our recreation department having their own dedicated website. Campers will have an online portal to pay, make it easier for parents and easier for accounting. So kudos to Johnny spearheaded this most of 2025. So thank you.
We got rid of our black and white TVs finally.
Black and white TVs are gone. We're getting there. And they just did AOL last year. Town board to approve.
To say ayes.
I'm sorry.
11. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve the payment to Civic Plus for the annual fees pertaining to the Recreation Department website invoice 352-489 in the amount of $33,969.
So,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve the payment to GPI for the Barber Road Warsing flag repair and red flag repair design invoice 0424146 in the amount of $3,928.38.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on that. So Barbara Lane Road is on Old Greenfield Road, which runs parallel to 52 heading west. It was flagged last year because of the condition it's in. Similar to, I'll hand this over to Tony in a minute to expand on, but we were fortunate where we are going to receive a sizable grant to offset 90% of the cost of a bridge. So coming up, you'll see our share of that total bridge cost. So getting a bridge in today's age for 10% of the cost, nothing short of amazing. Some of the work that was done to mitigate the
two red flags.
two red flags.
There were two red flags, we ended up having a weld steel on both ends, the approach and the exit. And then we had to lower the tonnage on the bridge to 9 ton and flagged it and got signs put up and everything for it, and they should be pulling the red flags now.
So the neighbors are aware of the weight limits. We have reached out to certain utility trucks and vehicles, so they are aware of it. The red flags will be, that's a third party that does that. We just tell them that we're ready, which we are ready. So this is the invoice letting them know. So it's, we'll update people when we have an update on that.
Bridge.
Yep. Good thing. All in favor?
Aye.
14. Thank you. Town board to accept the resignation of John Davis Jr. from his position as mechanic welder from the town of Orsing Highway Department effective February 9th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll add it to the end. I do have one for you, Jackie.
Town board to accept the bids received on Monday, December 1st,
December 29th.
29th.
Yes.
All right, so 29th, town clerk's office for road materials for the town of Orsing Highway Department from the following contractors: 209 Materials LLC and JML Queries Inc.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Town board to authorize supervisor to execute an agreement with the town of Orsing and Thomas, Drowan, Waxman, Pedigo, and Mayo LLP for labor consultation legal services for 2026.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve the recreation department to begin accepting applications for seasonal employment for Camp Shawano.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Town board to authorize human resources to advertise in the Shawangunk Journal for an open town board seat. The deadline for this, all submissions are 1/16 at noon.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board to approve Michael Summers as a part-time assessment field worker for a 20-hour work week at a hourly rate of $25. Hiring is subject to successful completion of drug screening. Start date TBD.
I'll move this.
Second.
Quick discussion as well. So our assessment office has been short-staffed, for 2 years now, a year and a half, at least, more than that. I'm getting the thumbs up. The assessment is a critical function in order for the town to have the right assessment value on the books, for us to, tax appropriately. And so, with where we are in terms of how far behind we are, in those assessments through sales, through building permits, this is a much needed, resource that we're bringing into the town to start getting through these. Michael Summer, previously ran the assessment here at the town of Warsing, so he is certainly very well qualified to step into this part-time role and assist us. So we're very much looking forward to his participation and working with the town to help us get caught up. So thank you to Michael Summer for being willing to do this.
Well said, John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I do have one more, Joe.
Yep.
Town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise immediately for welder fabricator position at the town's highway department, pursuant to wages and employment as outlined in the
Union contract.
union contract.
And the human resources.
Okay, human resources, thank you.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made, Jill second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, John.
You bet.
Tony?
No, good.
Only as a man of few words.
Yes,
Bill?
A big thank you to the highway department for all their hard work for the last couple of weeks there with the snow and the bitter cold weather, working New Year's Day, New Year's Eve.
thank you, Paul.
Thank you to all the staff there. Flight school at the airport is due to be open on the middle of March. Should be complete. Recreation department there, we're gonna be accepting applications for workers. Starting now. Transfer station, new permits are due. And we have a meeting with the school regarding our pool grant. And their construction of a bathhouse, concession stand and general purpose room that the camp is going to be able to use. And that'll have showers and changing rooms and real bathrooms instead of Johnny on spots. And that's something that we've been working on for many years to try to get the pool rehabbed. When it's done, it'll be state of the art. And so I have.
Thank you, Nick. For broadband IT services, we are still reviewing a contract with Charter for the municipal agreement with them. In that agreement, we're trying to push Charter to provide our Channel 23 equipment and services for us. We know that Channel 23 is down. We have a failure in a piece of equipment that is no longer made. So still working on an outcome for that. Supervisor Steckler was kind enough to reach out and find some other companies that might be able to support us in this. Our goal is to have Charter provide those services to us, given the municipal agreement that we have with them. And you heard the renewals for the town website, which is great. Parks and Trails, Grace, who is here, thank you for reaching out. The bear trash can is made, as you saw.
We will get that up there hopefully this week.
Great.
Great. It's exciting.
Yeah,
Down by the sewer plant, right? Is where you're going?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
right at the
the
rail
entrance
trail.
of the rail trail.
perfect. It's in the village.
Yes.
Garage.
Mike knows where the second path over there.
Great. And they have the other playground equipment there as well. So who knows when we can,
I mean, we, the town can put it up if they want us to. We've
that would be great.
offered that on several occasions.
In the assessment department, shared the exciting news about Michael Summers joining us. I just want to say congratulations to Supervisor Steckler. Very excited to have you in this role here on the board, and welcome to the board, Samantha Ellis. Great to have you.
And so.
Oh, and Tony Hayes, I'm so sorry. My apologies, Junior.
That road don't get plowed. Nope.
Samantha, I know, you think anything you'd like to say? Fire chief.
No. Well, welcome to the board.
I do have some stuff I'd like to highlight from 2025, as we start 2026, kind of reflect a lot of which was talked about tonight. And in no particular order, our building department, not only are we fully staffed with 2 full-time code enforcement officers, we have integrated tablets that can be used remotely that will significantly speed things up. For those of you in the world who have taken out a building permit and waited for it to close out, it could be a process, and we really sped that process up by having the ability to send back pertinent information to the office, to the assessor's office, to keep things going. Because remember, we're here to serve the people, so we can do that faster, one less roadblock ourselves. And also, we have a full-time fire safety inspector. Pat Rodinsky has been part-time most of last year. Last month, he is now full-time. Similar to the assessor's office being short-staffed, we have not had the proper safety inspections where we expect them. So that's a huge win. I'm really proud of that fact. The assessors, Johnny talked about it. We have 2 certified assessors in one department. That's pretty rare for a municipality our size. And we're fortunate that Mike was able to come back on his own accord, his own, his idea. And, those of you know Mike know what a benefit he is to the people in the town as a whole. Our water wastewater departments, which I spent most of my time with last year. I guess I'll start the final ribbon cutting that happened for the enforcing water district. Port Bend extension got included, I believe 36 parcels, 29 homes. We're looking into Clay Hill, Turkey Hill, and I forget, Carlo Drive, to extend that. We'll continue to hold certain people's feet to the fire to get that extended. The Kerhonkson wastewater plant got a massive uplift. We now have redundancy, and that's what the people deserve out there. And in Napanock water and wastewater, we rehabbed the well. We were able to upgrade certain critical pieces of the infrastructure that are non-negotiables, in my opinion. People getting water, clean water, and quality staff to take care of them. That's what they deserve. That's what they got. Kerhonkson sidewalk project, it's getting there. And I'll reference. I know I'm laughing like you are, John. However, if you've driven down Walker Valley anytime in the past 6 months, they've gotten new sidewalks where I didn't think a sidewalk even would go, but it's there. And the Village of Ellenville, Center Street, Upper Center Street has all new sidewalks. So, and over by the synagogue as well. So I do believe these projects are coming. I do believe we're on our way. And that'd be a nice addition to downtown Kerhonkson. Barber Road Bridge, again, 90% paid for by a bridge, or paid for not by the taxpayer. OSI is making great progress. I wanted to have an update on exactly in between Minnewaska to us they are, but they are well underway. And that'll be a game changer for us recreationally if we connect to Minnewaska Trail. Swims progress, bill updated. We're gonna have state-of-the-art facilities in less than 2 years. And with the beautiful view, the best view around the afternoon. Airport with the flight school addition. Highway garage was completed, and Tony's at the helm. Luckily, he was there before, so he can appreciate it that much more to keep it that way. But that doesn't come without challenges. We were not going to have a pool for next year because of all of the work being done at the school. We're going to have a plan, and we'll announce that plan as soon as possible. But that is a challenge, so I don't want us to, it's not all, positive. And also, you know, with our budget, rising costs, our rising costs of our non-controllable. You know, this was a tough budget, for those of us that were here, and I expected, to only get harder, given the climate we live in, but it's a challenge that we accept, and I have full faith we can do. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in.
Yeah.